Doug's to one of his best former teammates, shall we? Because right now on ESPN.com, our insiders, they put together a piece on Anthony Davis and a potential trade. So, Perk, Shanae, you hear that? You hear that noise? Oh, that sounds like Bobby Money Moves music here. Say that 10 times fast. So, Bobby, where are we starting here on a move for AD?
We're going to start with the Eastern Conference leading Detroit Pistons. 19-5, certainly have the tradable contracts to go out and get a player like Anthony Davis here. When you are looking at Tobias Harris, who is on an expiring contract, they have two young players down here with Jaden Ivey and Ron Holland. The one thing in this article that was not included, which is kind of a deal breaker for me, is all these draft picks that Detroit has available here. Certainly some of their first round picks. And a trade like that certainly works. I have concerns for both ends of this here. Certainly for Dallas here, where you're not replenishing another big. Remember, you lost Derek Lively already. And then for Detroit, breaking up that roster that is number one in the East.
Chemistry is a delicate thing to try to mess with there if you're the Detroit Pistons.
And guess what? A championship is a delicate thing, too. When you're trying to win one, I would do it.
All right.
I would do it if I was the Pistons. And you're not having to give up either one of your bigs in Isaiah Stewart or Jalen Duren, and you pay AD, put him at the 4 in the Eastern Conference. That's like when they traded for Rasheed Wallace back in the day. You know what I mean? You go from popular to powerful, damn it.
And I think you're making this assessment that potentially you do it because the Eastern Conference is wide open. And I actually think about another team, the Toronto Raptors, who are currently sitting at 5th in the East. Teams in this circumstances that take a look at a star player like Anthony Davis tend to be able to want to get them because they understand that this is the way you can do it.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a market like Toronto. They lost, 6 out of their last 7 or so games after winning 9 straight.
Yeah.
Could this be possible for the North?
Well, ask and you shall receive right now here. Certainly a Toronto team that, as you said, is taking on water. And when you look at it, as far as the players that you have, let's take out Scotty Barnes and Brandon Ingram and Emmanuel Quickley. They do have that R.J. Barrett contract here. He's got 2 years left on his contract. Jakob Poeltl just signed an extension. He's got 5 years left. He can't be traded until early December, or early January, excuse me. And then a young player like Ochai Agbaji. That actually works, and they also have a lot of their draft picks here. So you're not touching your core as far as where you are with that. There is one trade that I have not illustrated that I do think would work, and I like the best here, but I don't know if this trade machine can actually handle something like that when you're looking at it from down. Oh, we are in Hollywood. There it is. Take you to my big board. How about this whopper here? How about this 5-teamer when you're looking at Atlanta, Dallas, Sacramento, Golden State, and the Detroit Pistons here? Anthony Davis to the Atlanta Hawks. And look what else they get with them. Jonathan Kuminga, Buddy Hield, certainly a throw-in as far as their character, just as far as to make the trade work. For Dallas's perspective, now here's where the Mavericks have to answer the big question. What does Zach LaVine do for you as far as pairing with Kyrie Irving when he comes back? LaVine has 2 years left on his contract. The picks are what's most interesting. There's a 2026 first from Golden State and a 2027 first, top 4 protected from either New Orleans or Milwaukee, least favorable here. Remember, this is a Mavericks team that does not control their first until 2031. They do have their own this year, of course.
Okay, that is a whopper of a trade that we needed a big board for. Perk, what do you think of that deal?
Well, the sneaky part was Kristaps Porzingis to Golden State. Right in that deal.
What? Okay.
He was.
That was kind of sneaky in that.
And
deal.
who did you have with the Kings?
Oh, Trae Young.
Thank you. That was the sneaky part. You're talking about Porzingis. I'm like,
hey, we're just talking about Anthony Davis.
But overall, what do you think of that trade, Perk, for Anthony Davis?
Listen, earlier today, I was like, the Dallas Mavericks should, keep AD. But that Detroit.
You mean 5 minutes ago?
I'm telling you, that Detroit move got me thinking. But this 5-teamer, I'm looking at it. I like it. I wouldn't mind seeing Anthony Davis. The Hawks actually get better. The way Jalen Johnson been balling. Hey, Bobby, that was what you was supposed to do.
Well, I tried to do it on the machine, and we couldn't do it.
Perk, can we dive into this? Because this actually finds a solution for a number of teams. You mentioned the Warriors. They've been needing a big that can stretch the floor, that can play in their system. That works. Trae Young, I mean, at this point, we know that what we have seen without Trae is a better defensive team in Atlanta, and you double down on that by getting Anthony Davis. There are a lot You know what? If I had a cap, I'd tip it to you.
You tip it
Yeah,
to
I'll tip to
Hey,
you,
I'm just
Bobby.
part of the group project.
This is why we call him Money Moves. He is
talk.
always making it work. And by the way, I loved it. Who was the player who did cash considerations on the back of a jersey for me? I just love cash. Steph Curry, he returned to practice on Wednesday. He's been out for 2 weeks now with the quad contusion that he suffered against the Houston Rockets. Remember, Golden State is 3-2 in the games that Curry has been out. Our NBA reporter, Anthony Slater, he joins us now. It's a little bit foggy where Slater is, but you have some sunny news for us. We have a date for Steph Curry's return. When is that, and how has his ramp-up looked here, Slater?
Tomorrow night, Minnesota at home. The Warriors have targeted this really since last week. They told him to skip that 3-game road trip out east. They had him stay home, get treatment purposely to get ready for Wednesday night's practice. They're in the middle of 4 days off because of this Cup week, and they had a night practice. They scrimmaged. He did all 6 minutes. He came out of it well. So right now the expectation is he's back Friday, and this comes at an important moment for the Warriors this season. They feel like this could be somewhat of a turning point. They're getting healthier, obviously, with Steph coming back, but also 14 of their next 20 are at home. They have a lot of off days mixed in. Their defense is up to 3rd in the league. They've held 4 of their last 5 opponents under 100, but they need to fix the offense, and Steph Curry can potentially fix the offense. So they're sitting at 8th in the standings, 13-12, kind of disappointing, but they're playing Minnesota, who's 6th, and that's their target this season, get at least in the top 6, and now feels like the moment they need to make a move.
All right, Steph Curry coming back tomorrow against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and maybe if they can put together a little bit of a healthy run, the Warriors could make a run up the standings. Anthony Slater, we always appreciate the time. So with Steph coming back, that's good news, but in Curry's absence, an unlikely Pat Spencer has really stepped up. His averages, 16 points, almost 6 assists per game in December, both the most on the team. Now joining NBA Today, Warriors starting point guard, Pat Spencer. Pat, congratulations. Have you gotten used to hearing that yet? Starting point guard for the Golden State Warriors?
It started for about a week, but thank you. It'll be good to have number 30 back.
For anyone who doesn't know, you are a 4-time All-American player in lacrosse at Loyola, and you're called one of the best lacrosse players ever. You essentially won the Heisman Trophy of lacrosse. So how the heck did you decide that instead of signing after being the number 1 pick, you wanted to transfer to Northwestern, go overseas, and ultimately bet on an NBA dream?
Yeah, I'm a believer that if you have a passion for something, you have to follow it. I love lacrosse, but basketball was always my first love. There was no clear-cut path for what was ahead for hoops, but that doesn't scare me. I like being the underdog. So, the basketball journey, although it didn't look like a clear-cut picture, super intriguing to me, and it's my first love. I had to follow it.
You've exuded confidence on the floor, especially when you were in the starting spot. I'm not a lip reader, but remember against the 76ers, you said, I am, what's the PG version of what you could say for TV? What did you say now?
I think mother lover is what we could probably put on.
There we go. That's what we could put. And then Steve Kerr said that, yeah, in fact, you are that. Is everyone in the locker room calling you that now?
Yeah, unfortunately. I didn't think it was going to stick, and quite honestly, I don't know what I'm saying in those moments. With Draymond and some guys that are wired the same as myself, we tend to black out during those moments, and then it gets used against you, unfortunately. So, pretty funny.
Is there a single moment that you have had the most fun this season, whether it is watching or out on the floor, that maybe has made you smile the most?
You know what? I get pumped for my stuff, but I get even more excited for my brother's games. So my brother's playing for the Grizzlies and having a heck of a year. So just excited to be able to watch him do what he's doing. So as a brother, first and foremost, I think that's the most important thing for me. So NBA-wise, across the board, happy to see my brother doing his thing.
You mentioned your brother, Cam, is a national champion at UConn. Of course, he plays for the Memphis Grizzlies as well. And we thought we would see if he was busy. We'd give him a call and see if he wanted to join us here. And he just so happened to be available. So, Cam, welcome to NBA Today.
Boy, what's up? Thanks for having me.
We're so excited to have you, especially because the two of you, despite all of the wonderful things that Pat just said, and I'm a big sister, and so the best thing in the world is being on TV with my little sister, Kendra. My sister is also a heck of a trash talker. And I understand that you two are the same way, because when the Warriors hosted the Grizzlies, you both got to face off. It was not the first time, but what did that feel like for the two of you?
Go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, well, we got the win, so we'll take that. I don't know what the overall record is, but but ultimately, I think we just love seeing each other succeed. So, unfortunately, came in and went 0 for 1. So I guess he's got the leg up there.
So if you two as a set of brothers were to play, like let's say at All-Star Weekend, that there is a brothers 2-on-2 tournament, you two or the Curry brothers?
We're taking ourselves, then, which is crazy.
Heck yeah. Game on. What is the best part of having a brother in the NBA and being part of that fraternity?
I'll go first. I'll say I'm super lucky to have had Pat. I mean, he has 4 years on me, so he's been such a great role model for me and setting the example for myself and my little brother and the whole family. So he's been so great and just trying to help me and my little brother on our journey to be the best basketball players we could be. So credit to him. He's always been there for us, and we've learned a ton from him.
Pat?
Yeah, I'm so thankful to have them, both of them. We grew up, I'm sure you're aware, doing everything together. And to this day, it's so cool to have that. Some brothers get to play through high school, some through college, but to be able to have the off season to come home, be with family, those are the things that make it really special. So just beyond thankful for our journeys together and what we get to do.
And Cam, when you saw Pat say, "I am that M" on the broadcast, what'd you think? You said, "Yeah."
I was hyped. I knew exactly what he said too right away. So it just sounded like one of our one-on-one games.
Yep.
Or. Yeah, I mean, it was a cool moment for me and the whole family.
Well, I know you all have a busy day, so I'll let you go. Did you ever think the two of you would get interviewed together on ESPN when you were growing up?
I don't know if we thought we'd get interviewed together, but if you ask us, we're both crazy enough to think we would both be playing together in the NBA at some point.
I love that. I love it. Gentlemen, thank you so very much. Best of luck with your respective seasons, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you down the road. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you, Malika.
Thanks for having us.
And tremendous mustache for Pat there. The Spencer